Welcome to the Rural Revival Podcast. I'm your host, Dana Larson. This week we're with Kimberly Joosten of 4th Street Bakery in Lexington, Texas. This bakery receives rave reviews from everyone who's been there, and I'm excited for Kimberly to share her story today. She's talking about how she became an accidental baker and also part of a carrot cake explosion, if you will, selling over 500,000 pieces of carrot cake, and also her gradual transition into rural life. She's also sharing about what it means to make everything with love and how to keep going when the unexpected happens. So here we go with Kimberly Joosten. Well, we're here today with Kimberly Joosten of 4th Street Bakery in Lexington, Texas. Kimberly, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Oh, well, thank you so much for coming. This is exciting.
Oh, man, just to set this up, we walked in the door and she had fresh blueberry muffins for us, warm out of the oven, coffee that was made special for her bakery by someone local, and she's just given us the best treatment. So, well, tell us about you. Has Lexington always been your home?
No, absolutely not. I'm from California, which I'm probably not supposed to say, but I lived there for 29 years, and then I lived in Austin for, I don't know, a really, really long time. And I've been here 10. I've been in Texas for 25 years, so Austin, whatever that is, 15 years in Austin too. So,
wow.
Yeah. About 10. I've been here about 10 years.
And is it true you came from a long line of bakers?
Not professional bakers.
Oh, okay.
But people that love baking.
Yeah.
I think I'm probably the first professional baker. But I'm sure they would all love to be professional bakers.
Oh, that's cool. But it's something you grew up around, and it was just part of...
Yeah. I had a lot of aunts and grandmas, and they all like to do this stuff. Christmas was amazing.
Awesome. So was this your first bakery, 4th Street Bakery?
My first retail bakery.
Okay.
Yeah. I did wholesale baking for years and years in Austin. That's what I did in Austin. But
okay.
Yeah, this is the first retail experience, and it was a learn by doing. Wow. Yeah.
So we should probably take a step back and just say, how did you start baking more professionally?
Like, how far back do you want to go? I moved to sort of mid-Northern California in my 20s, and I was going to junior college, so I got a job at a bakery on the counter. And then one of their bakers, they did all their own baking at a different location, and one of their bakers got pregnant, and they needed someone to fill in. And I'm like, oh, pick me, I'll do it. Yeah. And I started baking there and fell in love with it, and that's how I started baking, just doing that.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I moved here, and I got a job for the very first Whole Foods had Martin Brothers inside of it, and that was their deli stuff, was from Martin Brothers. So I worked for Martin Brothers in their little commissary, and I did that. So I helped make the food for the deli part of the very first Whole Foods, the one that flooded out all the time. And then from there, I helped, I worked at their kitchens on the brand new giant Whole Foods that they were building. And from there, I got a job making like these hippie cookies with a man named Ronnie, whose last name was Baker. And it was wonderful. So that was fun. And in exchange, and he was unable to give me a raise. So in exchange for a raise, he gave me a day at his commissary bakery. So that's when I started doing the carrot cakes.
Awesome.
For Thundercloud Subs. And that's the story. It was never like, when I grow up, I'm going to be a professional baker.
Yeah.
I just sort of walked into it.
I love that.
And climbed up the mountain.
So it started with carrot cake.
The baking part, I guess. The professional baking part. Yeah. And even that's got its own long, long story. So my partner, Toby's mom, made a really mean carrot cake, and he had never had it before, so he loved it. So she would make it for him every once in a while, and he managed the Thundercloud Subs. So he had her make them one at a time, and he would sell them by the piece at his little Thundercloud location. And a couple other shops agreed to take them, and then the health department said, sorry, you can't do that at home. So in the meantime, I was working for Martin Brothers, and I found a space that she could go in and work professionally in if she wanted to in the evenings, and go in and make her carrot cake. And she just was not having it. She wasn't going to do it. So I let it sit I just thought, wow, that's a great opportunity, you know. So I let it sit, and I let it sit for a long, long time. And I had a different sort of carrot cake recipe that I wanted to make. And when I thought it had sat long enough, you know, that no one would be mad if I picked up the carrot cake batter. And then right about that time, that's when Ronnie Baker gave me the space to work it in. So that's when I started making the carrot cakes, because she just wasn't doing it and the people were missing it. And I did. So there's a little family drama in that. And they still to this day swear that it was her recipe, but I swear, I promise you guys, it's not. So, so there we go. Let's air some more laundry.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, so the carrot cake took off, obviously, because like explain Thundercloud Subs for those of us who aren't from Texas. Like that's a pretty big chain in Austin, right?
It is. I think they have something like 25, 26 shops in Austin, and it's locally owned and operated by the most wonderful people. Please eat there. They're awesome. And at the time, Austin was still small enough so that the managers, they're sort of autonomously managed, more or less. Not like a chain. I don't know how to explain it, but so the managers could pick or choose whether they did or did not want to take the carrot cake, and if it just grew and grew and grew, and finally everybody took it. That was something, because I would make them and then deliver them, and it was fun and interesting and difficult and really cool. But to be the carrot cake lady was really, because I would make carrot cakes for people that were pregnant. They would call me like, oh, as I, gestated my baby on this. And then they would call me when their kid, that same child, was graduating, and have me make the graduation cake for them, So that was a history too. That's such a wake up call when you're like, what? He's 18. I can't believe it.
So did it become full time? I mean, that's a lot of carrot cake.
No, it really wasn't full time. It was about 3 days a week.
Okay.
We tried other things. We tried chocolate chip cookies and cupcakes and all that stuff. But at the time, I really didn't need a full-time job.
So I want to know then how you went from the carrot cake. How did you expand from that? Did you start doing more wholesale?
No, I never did anything beyond that. Okay, here we go. So the backstory is Toby's sister moved out here and they got some property, and then his mother became very ill. And so she was living out here, and on the weekends we would come out and spell them because they needed it.
Sure.
So that's how we came to know this little town and see it. And about the time that his mom passed away, the woman sold the space where I was baking, the commissary space. I shared it with like 3 or 4 different businesses in Austin. And at that time, that was the first real estate boom in Austin. And I literally could not find a place I could afford. So Toby saw this building when we were here watching Santa Claus come to town on the fire truck. And he said, "You're going to rent that building?" And I said, "No, I'm not." And he said, "Yeah, we're going to rent that building." I said, "No, no, I'm not doing that. We're not living out here. I'm not living out here." And I said, "I'm not going to make that commute. It's an hour." But at the time, it seemed incredibly like I'm not doing that.
That's a big commitment.
Yeah, I'm not commuting an hour. And so anyway, he rented it, needless to say, and I started working here, and I drove grouchy. But I wouldn't make that commute because it was an hour. I'm not doing it. So I started sleeping here. I had a little pink futon, and he built me a shower on the back of the building, and me and my little Chihuahua dog, Olive, just stayed here 3 or 4 days a week. So I'd make the carrot cakes and get them all together and get them cut, and I'd drive them into town and deliver them. Then I'd spend a couple nights at home, do my laundry and get it together, then do my shopping and come back out here. And eventually I just started staying out here more and more and more because it really got under my skin. But in the meantime, it was just a wholesale business. It was just a place that I was working out of. So I never did anything with the community or anything, but I would work at that table over there and look at these windows, and I would think, these windows need people sitting in them. Look at these windows; they're amazing. They need people in them, and that's all I could think was these people needed. People need to be in these windows, and so I tried it. I talked to one of the higher ups at Thundercloud, and I said, "How do you learn how to do this stuff?" And she said, "You just do it." So one homecoming, I just did it. And it was a thing. I wish you could see that. Maybe we could show you the pictures. We had one table, and I think we sold scones I made a pecan pie. We do pigs in a blanket and maybe like 3 other things. And people came. And when I look at those pictures, I think, who would come here for this? Who would come here for these 5 little items? But they did. They came and they came and they came, and it just grew and grew from there.
I love
So
that.
yeah, it was yeah, I don't know. I just did what I was told, I guess. I don't, what I mean? Oh, all right. Did it, doubting and dragging my feet the whole way. But, those urges, you can't resist them when they're that big. I've got to do this. I don't know why. I have no idea why.
Yeah,
But
it was meant to be.
yeah, it was meant to be.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Wow.
So now you are only open on Fridays. I think that's such a great business model because it totally works for you and the community. But tell us about that.
Well, there's a million reasons. The original reasons are different. The original reasons is because I was doing the carrot cake. So that took 3 days of my life, and then I would shop and come back here, and then only have a couple days to get enough stuff together for the cases. And as the retail business grew, it was really exhausting, or like really tearing me apart, because it would take more and more time. Then we were open on Saturdays as well, and I was working 7 days a week, like 12 hours a day, and just like couldn't figure out why I was cranky all the time. Like, why am I so angry?
Yeah.
And when I just made the choice, I think so the Friday thing had to do with really just time. It's all I had time for. And then I finally, last year, COVID year, I thought, I'm not in love with the carrot cake anymore. I really need to quit doing this carrot cake. And I went in and told them that I wasn't going to do it. And it was, so emotional, because they're like my family. I love them. And they're wonderful. And then a week later, the whole world went on quarantine. So I wouldn't have been able to do the carrot cakes anyway. So how weird is that?
I mean, wow.
Right. I was really like doubting, like that was a stupid thing to do. You gave up the carrot cakes. Are you dumb? You know what I mean? Like, because even if I used it, like put a web address on it and used it just as advertising, you know what I mean? Because it was in so many places and so many people ate it. We were selling like, I think I sold over 500,000 pieces of carrot cake. I think we did the math one day. Yeah. About probably 600 to 900 pieces a week, depending on the time of year. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it turned out to be perfect timing.
It was perfect timing. And so the reason we're still open just on Fridays is really a staffing thing anymore. I would do more, but I just can't find it takes a baker, and I need another baker. You know what I mean? My counter girls are wonderful, but they're not bakers. So.
Okay, well, anyone listening, you can reach out to Kimberly.
Need a baker. Also, I just want to say that there are only 1,100 people in this town, and so there's. I think if we did too many more days, then it just would be it would separate that same amount of money that we make on Friday over it would just take 6 days to make it, or 5 days to make it. I need to bring back Saturdays, and I really think a very early morning coffee limited menu thing for the commuters would be just really the next step. But there's not. I don't know that this town is big enough to support a full-time bakery. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Love you guys, seriously though.
Yeah, I get it. So on a Friday morning, just explain for us a little bit of what goes on here. Like, what is on the shelves? What's the atmosphere like?
Oh, yeah. It's like the carnival is coming to town, every time. So we get here at 4. Tina Daffler, who works for me, and I
4
we get
a.m.,
here 4
right?
a.m.
Yeah.
Yes. And we start hand making the stuff, and we get it out. Then I get a teenager in at 5, and they start putting the cake. So the end case, the cold case, will have, let's say, chicken salads, and whatever sort of entree I've made for lunch. We keep gluten-free lemon squares in there, and whatever sort of cream pies that we might have, like chocolate or coconut cream pie. The beverages are down there. Whatever needs refrigeration. I'm trying to think of some of the things we put in there last week even. I don't know. I just do what I feel. So there's never a menu. The things that stand, there's always cinnamon rolls. There's always pigs in a blanket. There's always some sort of fresh fruit and cream cheese Danish. My focus is really on old fashioned. I don't do a lot of like trendy style decorating, which is wonderful and cute, but we just don't have time for that. And it's not my style anyway. We do more, I don't know, coffee cakes and sort of European style things. But we always have chocolate chip cookies. There's always snickerdoodles. There's some sort of bar cookie. There's usually shortbread. scones.
Wow.
That sell like crazy. Um, I'm trying to visualize it in my head. The muffins, we sell muffins. And I try and put something, with whole wheat and a lot of gluten-free things in there, just so that everybody gets a little something that they want.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess the biggest deal are the things, we call them thingies because they've never had a name, but it's a piece of French bread that's toasted, and it has ham or turkey, asparagus or mushrooms, and then a cheese sauce that we sort of grill over the top of it, sort of broil over the top of it. So it's in like an open faced sandwich, and that's probably the biggest draw are those things. We can't keep them in the case very long.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the muffins, like, no joke, are the best muffins I've ever had. So I can't even imagine what all the rest of this stuff tastes like. So I would imagine people come in here on Fridays and stock up for the weekends. Does that happen a lot?
I think during lockdown that was definitely happening. You know what I mean? When everybody was locked out, we would have that because I think people were just so tired of cooking at home. You know what I mean? That's a big burden on everyone to have to do that 3 times a day for everybody. So we had a lot of stocking up during that. But I think people know that we're here. They know what they want. We know our regulars so well. We have them ready before they usually even walk through the door. We know, so-and-so's here, grab his whatever. And yeah, it's just wonderful. I don't know. I don't explain it. So it just builds and builds. So we get the people on their way to school and they bring their kids and they get to pick their things. And I love that. I love watching the kids pick their breakfast and their little heads pressed on the glass and watching them go from being held in their mom's arms to put down to growing up over the top of the case. It's just so cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
And it's like the most bright, cheery, happy place. So just how it's decorated. It's very fun. You are very intentional about sourcing locally. So tell us a little more about that.
Well, our coffee is roasted locally by Sam Anderson, and he's created a blend especially for the bakery that I love. At home, I drink a one that's called a mochacita that has this chocolate end note it's just unbelievable. His coffee is amazing, and he's actually, I used to really like really dark, really burnt up coffee because that's what we're trained to like. But now that I understand that coffee doesn't have to be burnt up to be wonderful, his coffee is amazing, and he also sells it outside. On Friday mornings, you can get his bags of coffee. He stands outside and sells his coffee here. Our honey.
What's the blend called?
4th Street Bakery blend.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. And so people, it's important to me that we sell good coffee, and this coffee is the best coffee I've ever had. So it's fun. It's so wonderful to get it from him, on Friday mornings. He brings it to us before about 6:30, and we start grinding it to use in the espresso machine so we have a different. He also roasts our espresso beans, so it's called Rosebud. It's wonderful. The honey comes from Lico honey, and I try and use it in several pieces. Whatever we're doing, the sticky buns are almost all honey, so you can really taste. It's such a unique flavor. I've never had a honey like this either. And every batch, every season is different. It tastes different, so that's wonderful to be able to use that too. And when they have jars for sale, we keep those for sale in here too. And she makes lip balm. That's wonderful. Eggs I get locally from whoever wants to bring them to me, and I try and get our vegetables and meat from a local farm called Taylor Farm, but they're pretty busy doing farmers markets now, so I don't really see them very much anymore. But initially, we used a lot of their stuff, their herbs and vegetables and whatever I can get, whatever I can get my hands on.
Yeah, that's great.
There's a dairy farmer around. I need you.
Okay, yeah. Putting out the call. And everything's made homemade from scratch, right?
Everything is made from scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Wow.
have a famous story around here. One of our little ladies asked me one day when I first started. She said, "So, do you get this stuff from Sam's, right? And you just put it out?" And there was like crickets, and you'd have to know, like, I'm known to have a temper and a mouth, and yeah, some things I'm very calm unless you set me on fire, and that one just like, oh, it was like a cartoon rabbit when they jump in the air and they make a siren noise. That's pretty much what happened to her. I went, what?
Oh, okay.
So you get this from Sam's. I mean, she was like dead serious. Like, what?
She obviously had never tasted it. Man. Ah. Well,
Our first customer of the day is always Piggy Brown, who's our I don't know, our touchstone, our cornerstone. So she comes in and sits right there. She's the queen of that table, and then our local vet comes in after that, Dr. Tom, and he sits with her and they chat, and then all the kids come through and the moms, and then the moms start coming in, and then the ladies in town start coming in, and they all sit, and it's fun to watch, just to watch the change. But when the place is full and everyone is caffeinated and sugared up, you just can't believe that is the moment that I know that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Everyone is so happy, and you don't have to pay attention to the details of anything. You could just feel just how happy and what content everyone is, and it's so loud and wonderful, and it's really what makes every Friday worth it at 4:00 in the morning when we're standing here like, why are we doing this? What are we doing? Yeah, I just want everyone to be able to see that, just feel that moment, that
yeah,
when it's on autopilot and just doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing.
that's great. So when I was doing my research for this interview, I was looking online. And I mean, just to read the reviews from here, it's amazing. Like,
Probably helps that I know all of them.
Oh my goodness. It was like the best review list I've ever seen. Everyone loves your food. That's just amazing. So obviously you're great at customer service, because all these people, not only are your goods amazing, they taste great, but from a customer service standpoint, you're obviously doing something right too. So
it's the reason we're here, and I don't mean to. I hate to sound like trite or ridiculous, but that's why are we here if not for the people that come in? What an honor that someone would come in here and eat something that I made with my hands. You don't know me, you know what I mean? You don't know what we do. You have no idea who we are, and you would come in here. It's such an honor, and that's what we do. I just can't, I don't know, I just love it. I just love to feed them. And I'm thinking about all of our customers when I'm making the food. Thinking, so-and-so would really love this, or I'm going to put a little of that in there because so-and-so loves that, and, who's going to love these, so it's, I don't know, it's so great. And the other thing is, when I walk into a business and they don't acknowledge me, I'm likely to walk out pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. And I'll give it a minute or two, because I understand we're all busy, and customer service is weird, but my girls are required. We say hello, we say good morning to you when you walk through that door, because our job here is to give you a good morning. We want you to have a good morning, and that's what we do, is give you a good morning. So yeah, we greet you when you walk through the door, and if you don't, you get your little Fanny Jude later.
We were talking before we were recording, and you were talking about how you make everything with love, and that really is a real thing.
I'm only now discovering it, because it sounds like such a marketing tool. You know what I mean? Like such a thing that we all say, but I really do put a lot of energy and a lot of love into this food, because it's my life's work. And if that's not where I'm putting it, where am I putting it? You know what I mean? There's a lot of it to give, and it needs to be in. It's I don't know. It's how. I'm not people-y. I'm not good. You know what I mean? I'll give a hug and I love people and all that stuff, but I'm not in my private life. I'm not super people-y. And this is how I connect with people. This is how you can know me. Here's a little piece of me in this right here, because I'm probably not going to talk to you when I'm not here. You know what I mean? I'm probably just going to be hiding out at home. I'm not social. I don't go places. I don't do much, but that's how I share myself.
That's great. And you've created a very fun environment. You can tell that by the way that it's decorated, the bright colors on the wall. But you have to tell a story about your mixer and its name.
How do you know that?
I read it somewhere.
Oh my Lord. That's so funny. It's Big Black Sexy. It's just a beautiful thing. I bought it used, and I was talking to the people online, and they had a red one and a black one, and I said, wow, the shiny black, wow, that that sounds really sexy, you know? And she's like, oh, this is the sexiest mixer. You have to have this mixer. And somehow through that conversation, we wound up calling him Big Black Sexy, and like on the invoice it says Big Black Sexy. And so he's Big Black Sexy. I don't know. It's sort of it's another, a cornerstone of the bakery. Look at it. It just sits there. Everything's green and pink and pastel, and then blam, there's this giant shiny black mixer. It looks like a sports car parked in a Hello Kitty store.
That's an accurate description. Oh, I love it. I love it. But I feel like it just has this happy vibe here, and it's like it's contagious. So,
good.
Yes, and I think that radiates through you too. So, what have been some of the most important things that you learned in owning a business?
Oh, Lord. Well, the biggest one was that you can't know until you do it. Just do it thing, and you just open your doors, is what she said to me. Patty, she's a very wonderful woman. Anyway, that's what she said. She said you just open your door. So you can't know how to do this. So if you want to make a business, you're out there hemming and hawing and stomping around and walking in circles, just do it. Just open your doors and do it, and that's how you're going to learn. It does get easier. You get smarter. You get better. Having employees is hard. It is difficult, and now I understand the need for managers. Like if I had someone as a go-between, not that I don't love all my people, I really love them, but they take so much time and energy, and it takes away from my creative energy. Like I just want to make stuff. I just want to be here making stuff, and so much of my time when they're here is spent making sure that they're doing things properly. So that's another one, is just how hard it is to have employees. No matter what, you love them, but it's so difficult. And gosh, I'm sure there's a million other things. You need a lot of help. Ask for help, because yikes, it's unbelievably, there's so many aspects of owning your own business. And please take a month off every year. Just shut it down and get away. And so that's what I do. We close in July. And without that, I don't think I'd ever come back. You know what I mean?
Right.
Again,
yeah.
I love you all, but yikes.
Yeah.
I need that month off. So I'm sure there's more, but right now I can't think of anything.
Yeah, that's great. On the flip side, what's the most rewarding part?
Oh, that moment when everyone is so happy, that moment when everyone is completely satisfied and loving being here. The girls are doing what they do on the counter. Everything is done. The ladies are happy. The noise level's unbearable, and I get a cup of coffee and get to sit down and just watch it. That moment that we have every Friday is the best, right there. And there's also a moment at the end of the day when there's nothing left. Those days when there's nothing left. You've sold every single thing, and one more person comes in to buy something, and there's just nothing to buy.
Yeah.
That's a great feeling too.
Yeah.
It's a really great feeling.
I'm going to assume this, but maybe not. So have you since moved to Lexington?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you love about this community?
What do I love about this community? What's not to love about this community? Oh gosh, I don't even know where to start. I love the sense of community. It's a really community place. It takes a while. You can't force your way in. It just doesn't work. You have to let them come to you and just let it sort of happen organically. And what I love about this community is how much they really care about each other. No one goes without. No one, during the freeze, my pipes broke, and another local man and husband and wife team that run a flower farm, 6G, you need to go talk to them too. They're awesome.
I've heard of, yes. Okay.
6G Heritage Farm. They're wonderful. Anyway, he put out on Facebook, I'll come if I will come and fix your plumbing if you're, because everyone's pipes are freezing. I'll come and fix it for free.
Oh.
And I was like, Rodney, help! And he came and spent all afternoon just fixing my pipes. And I mean, where does that happen? Where does that happen? Everyone knows your dog's like My neighbors across the street just moved in from the country, and their dog he's a wander guy. He's a wanderlust guy, and they don't have a backyard yet. So at least twice a week, the police officer will come with the dog in the back of the truck and just jump him back off in the yard. You know what I mean? Everybody knows his name, and I love that part of it too. And watching the kids grow up and watching them play on their bicycles and be outside. The people are great. They show up repeatedly, you know, and they're appreciative, and
it's pretty good. Yeah,
it really is for 1,100 people, and you can know so many people. You know, you can know everybody
on a personal level. Yeah,
really know them.
Yep.
And there's another thing about being small and knowing everybody is you sort of accept everyone's weirdnesses. You know what I mean? You're not real judgy about it. You're like, oh yeah, he does that all the time.
That's
you
just
know,
how they are.
Oh yeah, it's just the way she is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, don't take it personally. It's just off-street dogs.
Yeah.
And you know, and you don't tiptoe around anybody. You're just like, nah. You know?
Yeah.
Just hell with it.
For sure. Well, what's next for you in 4th Street Bakery?
Okay, so this is the part where you grab your tissue, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
No, my husband, my partner, he died, and it's been many years, but it's been about 7 years, going on 7 years, but the plan I had in place with him was this was going to be our retirement place. So he would work, and my job was to build this business and make it a viable options for us to both have this little fun. And then he would come join me and cook the breakfast things, and we were going to expand from there. And when he died, this is what I knew, and this is what I was doing. So I kept doing it because I didn't know what else to do. And so I'm literally just waking up, and I'm just coming back alive, just coming into myself from whatever that deep grief was of that. So I really honestly don't know, but I'm starting to be able to see that there's something next. There is something next. But before it was just, just strictly survival. I knew it, and it was comfortable, and I loved it, and it's something I could do without too much, distraction, I guess. So I really needed it. And now I don't know. I'm awake, and I feel more myself again. And so I don't have an answer for you just yet, but I know it's coming. I probably more like commuter mornings, like having coffee and a limited menu for people very, very early in the morning so that they can get their coffee here instead of going all the way to Manor or wherever it is that you find a Starbucks, because I'd like to keep that local.
Yeah.
And figure out how to do things more, be able to order online and find a way to run it out to them, and so they don't really have to get out of their cars, and because people like that.
Absolutely.
So that'll be next. Figuring it out.
Yeah. One day at a time.
Yeah.
Well, how do we follow along and keep track of whatever it is that does come next?
You got to come in on Friday mornings and see what happens.
Make the trip.
You got to get here
Lexington.
every Friday and see it go down. I don't know. I don't really do a lot of social media. Again, it's a time-consuming thing that I would love to do, but I often don't have the energy at the end of a day. I feel myself aging, and that's a weird feeling for me, because I used to have boundless energy, and now I don't. There's a limit to what I can do in a day, and I really, really hate that.
Yeah.
I really hate it. So whatever I'm going to do, I need to do it quickly because I'm getting old fast.
The right thing is going to fall right into place for you. I just have a feeling.
It always does.
Yeah.
I do have one of the things about what I went through with Toby dying was my faith is unshakable through that. It has it really has created an unshakable faith, and I know that those are big words, and that's like hubris, and I don't mean it that way at all. I just mean I can say now it'll be just fine, and I know that it's going to be just fine. Even when I get flappy and scared and my stomach hurts and I'm all freaking out, I just go, wait, it's always fine. It's always going to be fine.
And that's a good place to be.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah. Kimberly, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Oh, thanks for coming in.
This has been wonderful.
Stop it.
I mean it. Well, I love Kimberly's story and how she's built this business and created something so special at 4th Street Bakery. I'm not kidding when I say that was the best blueberry muffin I've ever had. So please go give 4th Street Bakery some love on social media and stop by and see Kimberly next time you're in the Lexington, Texas area. Trust me, it is totally worth the trip. And since we're talking about baking today, I wanted to let you know Rural Revival is launching a farm-to-table cookbook this fall just in time for gift giving, and we want you to be a part of it. This cookbook will celebrate the long-held tradition of supper on the farm and shine a light on the farmers, ranchers, and local businesses who are preserving the farm-to-table tradition. I'll be taking your favorite recipes that you submit, along with my own favorite recipes, and putting them into this cookbook to create something special that we can all enjoy. Check out our website for more details or go to the show notes for a link where you can submit your recipes. Huge thanks to Kimberly for being on the podcast today, and thanks to you for tuning in. Have a great day, everybody.